What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Tap your feet. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
And it's about that time. He's back. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Merv Britto Show. We are back in business after a nice, well-deserved break. So, welcome to all of you who are listening. And for you in the studio, we've got the one and only, you in the studio. We've got the only two people that I know that are watching for sure, Mr. Ajoy Barreto and Wilbert Cardozo.
Hey guys, what's up? What's up?
Hello guys, hope you had a good weekend.
Viva San Juan. Hey, what do you mean good weekend? It's been 2 weeks, Jackson.
Hey, by the way, we're missing R2D2. What's happening? Merv?
Yeah, he got a new mic. A bunch of people message him trying to figure it out. Why does he sound like R2D2? But we got him a new mic, so he's sorted. The one and only Mr. Wilbert Cardozo. We've had a nice little break. We had a good run. We've had a couple of lovely, very interesting guests. People that we thought were very, very much the kind of people we wanted to talk to in relations to what we're trying to do. This is the Merv Britto Show, and a show where we speak to people about Goa, our love for Goa, our passion for Goa, but more importantly about our opinions and what we need to do to make this place or keep this place, the place that we all love so much. So as always, you can be anywhere in the world, have any connection. You don't have to be Indian or Goan. You have to have a connection, or you've been here, you've heard about it, you've got family, you know somebody from there. We want to hear from you. As always, this is an interactive show. It's live. It is the only live interactive podcast where you can actually call and get in touch with us. And we're going to introduce just that person, the missing member of the Four Musketeers, the one and only Mrs. Joanne Britto. We're going to get to see her. Who's coming to us live.
I don't know. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Now we can see you. Hello, hello.
We can. Hello, sending lots of
the
love from England.
Show. And just to make my point about the live interaction, this is exactly what we need. Joanne is coming to us live from where?
England. So here in Chiswick in London in the UK. So visiting lots of friends. Obviously, I said goodbye to you on Thursday. You jetted off back to Goa, and I jetted back to the UK just for a couple of extra weeks, just to get some personal administration sorted.
Yeah, there you go. You're having a good time. You seem to have the nicest weather. We've got nice weather. We've got sun out for a change. It's the monsoon, but we've got pretty decent weather. It's nice to have you on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get in touch with us, just like Joanne, you can call us, you can message us, 7507-246-246. You can check us out on a lot of the the online, what are they called? Social media handles.
All the handles, yes. Facebook.
Tell them, Ajoy, tell them.
Facebook, X, Instagram, WhatsApp, most importantly. We're yet to get on to the other guys on the left that I've mentioned here, but you get the picture. On the social media handles on the right, please do connect us there.
We, as I just mentioned, it's an interactive podcast, one of the only interactive podcasts where we record this live. So it's in the early baby stages. We've had a couple of very, very interesting, cool guests. We've had Walter Lobo, we've had Mark Seagraves, Priyanka Seagraves, we've had Joanna Perez, we've had Angela Davidson. Who else? Who am I missing? George Lobo, Paula Beatty. We've had some very, very. Who else am I missing? We've had 11.
Andrew.
10. Who?
Andrew Gardner.
Andrew Gardner.
Andrew Gardner. Yes. We've had some very, very interesting people for different topics. And as always, we want you to be involved. We want to get in touch with us. We will send you a link and you can get live on the air. You can do it via video. You can do it on a telephone call. We just want to hear from you. We're broadcasting today. We're broadcasting live on Insta. No, what are we on?
Broadcasting live on our YouTube, on Facebook, Merv's personal Facebook page. Guys, we really need you to like us on our Merv Britto page so that we can go live there. So please, we would really appreciate if you could go to our page, the MervBrittoShow.com. Sorry, the Merv Britto Show on Facebook. Like and follow the page, please, so that we can go live there and we can interact with you guys there.
So we've got a website. We've got the MervBrittoShow.com where you can go and check out a lot of the interviews that I just spoke about, some of these very interesting people that we've already interviewed. But what we need now is we are at the stage now where we're going to start broadcasting live on our Facebook page, the Merv Britto Show on Facebook. So if you would be kind enough to go like, share, and subscribe, we need, once we hit 100 subs, we can start broadcasting live there.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do. We basically want to broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Insta, whatever. We do a live version of the show and then we edit it and then it goes up live on, goes up on the show so you can watch it in posterity. Anybody who wants to go and watch the show that they did not get to watch live, they can watch it on the website.
Yes.
The MervBrittoShow.com. We've got all the episodes there. Did you guys enjoy San João?
I enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure my friend here,
R2D2.
R2D2,
What's he busy doing, dude?
he's from Seolim, by the way, so he should have enjoyed it a lot.
Hey, Irma, kida kortare sang mare?
I have not. I was stuck at work.
Best.
By the time I reached home, the Sanja was over. And I don't like to go to Seolim. It's too overcrowded.
What did you make me say? What was our promo we did? What is it called? Bio Borni, no? Sang.
Tu sang mare tu.
Are Baba Sikh. You got to teach me. What did I say? What did I end up saying?
Mogacha going karano. Viva Sanja.
Ani parat sang re potun sang. Sang re.
My Mogacha going karano. Viva Sanja.
Had the hand clapping do mare. Clapping do baby. Baba make clapping. I hope you guys had a brilliant San João. I took a nice little break, a well-deserved break with my wife. We went to Italy with family. We had a really, really nice trip. And I was so looking forward to taking a break because we've been at it with work. By the way, this show is sponsored by Merv Enterprises and Infinet, which is our ISP, which we run here in the north of Goa. We work very, very hard to provide you good internet connectivity and great post-sales customer service. So if you're looking for an internet connection here in Bardes, get in touch with us. You can check out us on Google, the Merv Britto Show. It is Merv Enterprises on Google, but you can go to our website, which is infinitegoa.com. Get in touch with us if you want a good internet connection. We're more than happy to help. So we work very hard and we wanted to take a break. We had a couple of pre-recorded shows with Mark and Priyanka for World Yoga Day, and we did an interesting interview with Mark about sports, and it went off like a what?
Went off very well.
He's an interesting guy. He's a good friend of mine, and we've spoken at length about so many issues about the youth here in India and in Goa, about how talented people don't have the opportunity to take it to the next level. So go check out Mark's interview. We're back live. Like I said, I took a break. We've come back from Italy. We went to Florence, we went to Venice, and we went to Rome. And I was blown away. Let me tell you, it actually, for somebody who talks a lot, I was speechless. We've got pictures. We're going to get into it more as the show progresses. I want to talk about Air India, guys. Ajoy.
Yes, Merv.
I want to speak specific. We flew Air India out because of the baggage allowance to get to the UK. We flew from MOPA to Gatwick, and a couple of days later there was a crash. The Air India flight from Ahmedabad to Gatwick crashed. I'm not going to get into the details of it all, but two things I wanted to mention is I am so appalled by Air India and how they maintain these airplanes, because a year ago when we flew to the States, 90% of the screens in the aircraft weren't working. A year later, they're still not working. We had a dismal flight. It's a long flight to get from here to Gatwick. Half the screens don't work. There's no entertainment, which is fine. You know what? It's not fine, but it's sad because you've got such a brilliant company. There's pictures of me with my face. Look at my face, dude. Pictures of me that it annoys me because you've got such a brilliant company like the Tata Group that's taken over Air India, and they're trying to make changes. They've taken over a real mess. But after all of this time, and people have flown after me on Air India, they complain about the same thing. I don't know what maintenance they're doing. And I'm not saying that's why the plane crashed, but a couple of days later was scary because less than 48 hours after we took our flight, the airplane crashed.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely unbelievable that you had a survivor, but a lot of people sadly lost their lives. There was a letter written by who was it? We checked it out, dude. I'll bring that up.
Former captain of the of Air India, an ex-captain of Air India.
Bring it up. I want to read this. This is something that blew my mind, and I thought that was really, really interesting. And I hope you guys go and check it out. It is from somebody named. Can you bring it up? Shakti Lamba on X has posted to Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, the chairman of Air India. Yeah, it is a long letter, but I think it's worth reading. Dear Mr. Chandrasekharan, they say leadership is about showing up, not just in boardrooms, but in moments that truly matter. Today on the 17th, when Captain Sumit Sabharwal, the commander of Air India Flight AI-171, was laid to rest, you were just a few kilometers away in Mumbai, yet neither you nor a single board member of the Tata Sons or Air India found the time or perhaps the inclination to attend this funeral, not one. Captain Sabharwal was not just a name on a payroll or a line item on the cost column of a 3,000 crore aircraft. He was a human being, a son of a colleague, a commander entrusted with hundreds of lives each flight. More importantly, he was one of yours, part of the Tata family, or so we often told in town halls and mission statements. And yet, as his 88-year-old ailing father stood by his pyre, alone, broken, and betrayed, the Tata Group, the venerable institution that once stood for grace and humanity, could not even spare a board representative. No shoulder to lean on, no condolences delivered in person. One wonders, is this the new India the Tata Group wants to lead? You see, the leadership is not just about IPOs and synergies, it's about presence, especially in the dark moments. Aswani Lohani, a former Air India chairman, understood this when relatively junior flight dispatcher passed away in Mumbai years ago. Lohani didn't send a card or floor arrangement. He showed up. He went further, offering the grieving wife a job. No cameras, no LinkedIn posts, just humanity. Now imagine for a moment, would JRD Tata have stayed away? Would Ratan Tata, who personally visited animal shelters and grieving ex-employees, have sent regrets via social media posts or emails? No, they would have been there because they understood about that airplanes may cost thousands of crores, but the men and women who fly them are priceless. It's just not about protocol, it's about people. And when the chairman of Tata Sons cannot find the time to attend the funeral of a captain who dedicated his life to serving the skies under the Tata banner, what message does that send to the rest of the crew? The message is loud and clear. You're just a name in a roster, a code in the system, replaceable. Today, employees of Air India feel abandoned, not by fate, not by circumstance, but by you. And in your absence, we saw everything. Warm regards, though, with a little warmth left. I think that well-written message was posted on his X account, and I think it speaks volumes. You can go and check it out yourself, but it's an absolute shame that people, following the leadership of JRD and then Ratan afterwards, who were absolutely exemplary leaders, you didn't have anybody from Tata show up at this man's funeral or the funeral of multiple people that passed away in this tragic incident, and I think that's an absolute shame. Ajoy, this has been verified?
Yes, this letter was sent to Air India, the Air India chairman to be exact, and they have claimed that they did send a single representative. But I think in light of the enormity and the tragic circumstances of that accident, I think more could have been done. More human,
lot more, no?
Yeah, more of a human touch.
Humanity, mate. That's exactly what it's about. Airplanes are machines, and there's insurance, and those things can be replaced. But when you're talking about loyal and long-standing service men and women, people that have served the company, I think humanity goes a long way, and it speaks volumes when you have senior members of your team show up at the funeral just to lend a shoulder to cry on. So the point I'm trying to make is we flew Air India several times in the last few years, and it's appalling how they maintain these airplanes and these aircrafts. My thoughts and prayers, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and anybody who lost loved ones, not only for the people on the airplane, but on the ground that lost their lives. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention. We did a trip to Rome, and we got there on Air India, and we had a brilliant time. It was really, really good. And that's something I wanted to talk more about. Can we get let's get Joanne back on. That's too late now. You're going to put pictures now, are you?
No, we can get Joanne on.
Let's get Joanne. I want Joanne's opinion about our flight, hon. What did you think about the Air India flight many, many months later where things still aren't working?
Yeah. I know. I mean, it's really, really sad because obviously for us, we were traveling, as you said, 2 days before that terrible, tragic accident. And already we had made note of the fact that our in-flight entertainment was again not working. So we kind of knew the drill. We expected that they'd say, oh, we've got to reset the system and then see whether, your in-flight entertainment will start working. So
and it's sad because
we felt really bad for the team. Yeah.
Because they're on the front line. They're people.
Because the team are having to keep saying the same things, and they know really that only a handful of the TV screens will work and things like that. And everybody was kind of making a little bit of a joke of it, and you'd videoed it and you said, oh, I'm going to talk about it on the show when we're back on air after the holiday and all. So obviously that seems extremely trivial when it comes to that huge tragic loss of life, because that was like catastrophic failure. But it's just such a shame because everybody's been told.
This is many, many months later.
Everybody's been told there's new crafts coming. Mm-hmm.
So what, we don't take care of the old aircrafts, or how's that work?
Well, that's the whole point. It's like, I think for 4 years or so, there's been a direct flight from Goa to London. It was originally to Heathrow. Then they switched it over to Gatwick. So we started using that more regularly. Even with the baggage allowance, Merv, and that has changed. You used to get 2 bags of 23 kilos each. Now they've changed that. It's only 1. So if you want even if you want an additional bag, like which was standard before, you now have to pay for that. So obviously that extra money goes somewhere. Who knows where? It's just one of those things that, I know that the group is trying to get Air India back to a place of prominence, and it can happen, and these things do take time, but it's a shame for their teams on the front line that kind of have to bear the brunt of some of these bad service aircrafts and, all of those bad experiences. And obviously this horrific crash that happened earlier on this month, obviously we were so devastated to hear about that, and obviously concerned because we've also got family members who fly for Air India too.
Yeah,
it's really,
we've got a
really
couple
sad.
Of family members that fly for Air
and
India.
of course, like you said, and like you said, it's our hearts go out to everybody who's been affected by this, all the families and friends. It's just really devastating.
The point I'm trying to. Sorry, Ajo, you're going to say something.
Merv, we were showing some pictures just now of your initial flight out of India to the UK, and it's interesting that you have you were pointing out that the in-flight entertainment system wasn't working, there were some errors showing, as you can clearly see. But it's very interesting because these things should not be taken lightly. Apparently, before the horrific crash on that fateful day, there was a video put out by a gentleman who had traveled that same flight. I think it was coming from some other destination to Gujarat.
From Delhi.
From Delhi to Gujarat, and I could be wrong here. I will check. But he had taken videos and pictures like you, showing that these things were not working. And guess what? It's all electronic equipment at the end of the day. So who knows what is connected to what and what could affect any potential issue on the plane. So we should not take these things lightly. There should be checks and balances, and question has to be raised not only of Air India, but of Boeing. As to
I don't think it's a Boeing issue, dude. There's many 787, 800 long haul, the extended range flights. I don't know enough about airplanes, but we flew on the same airplane that the one that crashed. These airplanes have been flying for many years. They're old, they're not new, but the FAA and all these companies are very strict about maintenance. And your A checks, B checks, C checks, whatever, all of that stuff has to be done and done regularly. You can't put these airplanes in the air without certain, whatever, they have to go through, they get approval kind of thing, right? But Ajoy, you mentioned something really interesting. If simple things like the electronics in the aircraft, the screens are not maintained or the entertainment systems aren't being maintained, God knows, who knows what else is not being checked and fixed and maintained and made airworthy and safe, yeah? So right. It's scary because this is only a microcosm. This is only for entertainment. Who knows what else serious stuff that actually flies or the airplanes need is not working, it's not maintained, it's not fixed, and potentially could cause a crash at any time. There are thousands of airplanes in the air every day. So when you think about it, it's scary that or sad or annoying that these guys are not taking it seriously when it comes to just simple things as entertainment systems on the airplanes. We flew back on Qatar. I flew back on Qatar. I left from Rome to Fiumicino to Goa. Brilliant flight, by the way. Brilliant. Qatar Airways, hats off to you guys, because you've got everything. I've got video of cameras that you can watch on the displays in front of you. The airplane landing, you can watch multiple views. You can watch the front underbelly, you can watch underneath the aircraft, you can watch the back of the aircraft. I mean, you've got all the movies, you've got everything, and it all works spectacularly. It's a comfortable flight. And that's what Air India should be as an Indian, as a proud Indian. Why can't I have the national carrier that carries so many people around the world?
Merv, we're looking at videos of the in-flight entertainment.
Yeah, I took these videos. Because you can scroll through them. I don't need just one. So but go on to the next one. You see all the different things, the features, the bells and whistles. This is from behind the airplane, from the tail. It's just simple things that make it such a brilliant experience. It's not rocket science, guys. You're flying people, entertain them, keep them occupied through the duration of the flight. They're not going to keep calling and complaining about it. But this is an airplane where everything worked. You've got 3 camera angles. You can watch it from the nose, you can watch it from underneath, you can watch it from behind, from the tail. And why is it so hard to do? Qatar Airways does it in spades.
Could this be a newer model of aircraft? Is why they have these features. In
all fairness, yes, this is an A350, so it's a newer airplane. But I'm saying to you, whether it's new or old, depending on the model of the aircraft, you still have to maintain it, Ajoy, to keep it safe, to keep it airworthy, right?
That's true.
So anyway, I don't want to get into the details because I don't know enough. And I'm sure there are caring and hardworking people in Air India, and I don't want to paint them all with the same brush. The point I'm trying to make is I was very impressed at how well written that letter was, and I want more people to read it and understand that an airplane or an airline is more about numbers in your bottom line. It's about the people that work behind the scenes, people that you don't even get to see. But leadership is the most important thing in any organization, and that's what is lacking, and I think that's what is lacking. I don't know. This is the airplane taking off. I'm watching this on my screen in front of me, dude.
This is mind-blowing, actually.
You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to do. It's not rocket science, dude.
And is this economy?
This is an economy. I'm in cattle class. I'm not flying anything fancy.
Wow.
So anyway, I here again, I'm making sure that I say that the people that work hard behind the scenes, guys, I'm not painting you all with the same brush. I'm sure there are lovely, hardworking people that work behind the scenes to keep the airline running, and it's not everybody does the same thing. I'm just saying to you, it's disappointing because we've got a national carrier being run by a brilliant organization. The Tata Group is nothing to sneeze at. They've been around for a long time, but it's just a shame to see in an emergency, in a crash, in a time of crisis, that your leaders didn't step forward and you had more representation from the airline by the people that actually, or actually for the people that actually need condoling. You know what I mean?
Merv, I got a question for you. At a human level, what should they have done?
You would have more people from the top, your C-suite, your chairman, your CEO, your CFO, any big reps be there to represent the airline. Listen, guys, we're here. In the past, JRD and the people that actually ran the company from the top, they didn't send condolence letters and flowers, and they were there in person. They gave whatever help, whatever heartfelt love that they could to people. So you'd expect more people from the top to be there.
And,
you know what I mean?
And the question regarding this captain that sadly lost his life, along with 260,
270. The number is much more,
huge,
dude. Close
number.
to 300.
So was his last rites conducted along the same time as the other people who lost their lives? Do you know?
Not a clue, Ajoy. Not a clue. There was almost 300 people that died. The point is that I hope it is a wake-up call to Air India. Not us telling them, but overall with this crash and the loss of lives, I hope Air India, and I'm not blaming Air India only, maybe Boeing is involved or whatever, but Air India is the people that I'm making the point that maintain these airplanes. And if your simple things like entertainment systems aren't working, what else are they not maintaining properly to cause these problems?
And I think after such a tragic incident, and I think there have been other incidents in the past, these small things reassure people that everything's working all right, and not to be afraid of flying.
Not at all. Not at all.
So
I'll get on an airplane tomorrow.
Yeah, my point is, if you have these in-flight entertainment systems and the small things that actually don't matter in the grand scheme of things,
They don't.
But at the same time, they do matter to people like you and me who fly, and then by seeing things working as they should, then you would have more confidence in flying, right?
Yeah, of course. We're not trying to scare anybody. The point is, we're trying to bring this to the forefront. We're trying to talk about this because this is something that I have experienced firsthand, and I brought this to your attention in conversation because we want people to know flying is 100% safe. These crashes happen very, very rarely, so it's not something you got to worry about. I'm talking about my experience, and it was horrible on the way out on Air India, and it was brilliant on the way in with Qatar Airways. Transiting through Doha, coming into Goa, it's amazing. I want to talk about MOPA. MOPA is such a beautiful airport, guys. When you go into Doha, you're blown away. What's it? What I don't know what the name of the airport is, but Doha Airport is beautiful, dude.
Hamad International Airport.
Clapping kon mare. It is Hamad. But it's such a beautiful airport. They keep people entertained. You can spend a shitload of money. You can buy whatever you want. There's pictures that I've taken, and I'm going to show you on the screen. But it is such a beautiful airport. People are spending money. People are shopping. People are relaxing. People are doing all kinds of stuff. MOPA, on the other hand, is a dreary, depressing place. You get in, people have no clue how to take care of. And it makes me really sad. It makes me, as somebody who's a people person, Ajoy, Willie, where's Joanne? What do we do with Joanne? You going to show pictures first? Yeah, show the pictures. I want people to see the airport of Doha.
And I think we can hear
Joe, you there?
Joanne's opinion on this as well.
Yeah, I'm here.
We discussed this the last time around. It'd be so nice to have friendly faces, people that can direct traffic. Listen, you've got this passport, go here. You've got that passport, go there. The customs and immigration officer, hi, welcome to India, whatever. You know what? It's a simple enjoyable process. MOPA is a beautiful airport. It could be a very beautiful airport. It's brand new. It's so convenient. But simple things, like I said, entertainment systems on airplanes, smiley faces at airport, people willing to talk, help. Immigration. By the way, when I got into the airport, I actually walked into customs and immigration, and only when I got into the line did they tell me, oh, you know what, you got to fill in a form.
Oh, wow. Let's not go there, man. It is. I have a lot to say on this immigration thing.
Dude, they make it absolutely seamless. You come into an airport, you go through immigration, you come pick up your bags, and you get out. Every other airport we flew in on this trip, we had a couple of different ins and outs, but to get into MOPA, you come in, yeah, fine. The airport is warm, it's hot, it's not the nicest smelling airport. ACs aren't on, but you walk into the airport, you go into immigration, they haven't told you to fill out a form. You get in a line, then you got to be pulled out. Listen, you need to go to that counter, take the declaration form, fill it out, and then come back into line. It's not the nicest experience. We had to ask 2 or 3 people. The signage isn't proper, but I've got a foreign passport, but even for our Indian nationals or overseas, any of the people that are traveling to Goa, listen, it's not crystal clear where you go, who you can speak to. People aren't that friendly, and at an airport, that's what you want, no, Ajoy?
Definitely.
You want people welcoming you. Hey, guys, come on here. This is the line for, these are the passports. This is the line you get into, blah, blah, blah. Have you filled out a form? Whatever. And normally they announce this on the aircraft, but if you had a nicer airport with signs clearly mentioning what you want to do, it would make the whole experience so much nicer. Anyway, MOPA Airport can be so much nicer, but I don't think you've got the traffic like Daboli, where you've got a lot more people coming in and through, or a Doha Airport or a Heathrow, where you've got the footfall, but you can still make it a nicer experience. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I think for anybody landing in Goa for the first time, that first impression will go a long way. I'll never forget, I had gone to Buriram in Thailand for the MotoGP there. And I think the whole economy of Buriram centers around the MotoGP. So it's a big deal. And when we landed when you come to Buriram Airport, there's just the airport, and around the airport, if you look on either side of the plane, as it's landing, you would see only greenery, only, I would say, forests. It looks like forests, for as far as the eye can see. And then when you land, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be a very, very simple landing. It's not going to be a big airport, and it wasn't a big airport. So my point is, when we landed, when we started to depot the plane, we were received by 6 elephants, decorated, and they with all pomp and fare. You enter. There was a dance troupe doing their traditional the Thailand dance, and just by that, I'll never forget saying to myself and telling my friend who was with me that just for that I would want to come back. Just for that, just for that first experience. And I further thought that if India has so many cultures, from Goa to Punjab to you name it, if each airport could do something like this, what wouldn't we achieve, and how couldn't we change minds about India in terms of its tourism?
Can I tell you, it blows my mind, because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, and that's why we're doing this show. It is so sad, because you've got so much to offer in Goa, for example. It doesn't take a lot of money or a lot of time. It just takes somebody with a brain or the future or somebody with a vision, yeah? Something that left an impression on you, Najo, in Thailand.
Absolutely. And the little things, like you said, the experiences that I commonly see, and I have experienced myself at Daboli, wherein you land late at night, early in the morning, for example, and there's no people to help you. You don't know when the carousel is going to start going.
These are international airports,
guys.
These
are international airports. It's supposed to be international airports. And we should have learned from those, from Daboli. We should improve Daboli, firstly, right? It's a very important airport, not for the north. It's also for the south of Goa. And when you should have learned those lessons and improved upon them, not only in Daboli, but in MOPA. So if that is continuing in MOPA, then this is a big problem.
Listen,
and has to change.
You got to give kudos to Bombay. Mumbai Airport is Maharashtra. What is it? Chhatrapati
Shivaji.
Awesome airport, dude. Very good airport, right? And all over the world, Thailand, Malaysia. We were in Rome, in Fiumicino. I mean, everything is well labeled. You know what to do, where to go. People are helpful, smiling. Language may be an issue. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying to you, you've got so much to offer in this beautiful place that we call home. It just takes the right leadership to make it different, to make it better. Just a warmer, better experience for people coming in here. I'm going to segue into this, and I want to start talking about my trip to Rome, Florence, and Venice. And the whole idea that I wanted to do this show without a guest this time is to talk about how lovely, 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 what an experience Italy has been. Going to get Joe. I want to get Joanne back on here, Joe, to find out.
Yeah.
You're somebody who's not necessarily from here, but you've experienced the same airport that experiences that I've had. Heathrow, Gatwick, you name the big airports. It is something that we both talk about. It's such a shame that you don't have the right people with the right caliber, the right knowledge, training and putting into place these experiences that would make a tired tourist, a traveler, so much more welcome and happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of points I just wanted to mention. I'm just reminding you, remember when we came back from the States in October last year, and it was really early hours of the morning because we'd come in on the Doha flight, and there was some orchestra that had come in to Goa. They were obviously doing a series of concerts. And we were probably the last few people to pass through immigration at the end of the queue. And there was this one person next to us who'd come in with the orchestra. And the person who had actually dealt with him was obviously just trying to be friendly and welcome him and say, welcome to Goa. But because of the accent and because the person wasn't really articulating very well, and it's one of your bugbears when people are too shy to speak clearly, he wasn't speaking very clearly. So the kind of goodwill gesture was a little bit lost. And obviously, because I'm a little bit more tuned into the accent, I turned around and said to the guy, oh, he's welcoming you to go and have a good stay. And so then the person was really smiling and happy. So it was one of those things that it's nice to see people making the effort, but there does need to be more training around that. And that's something you and I have discussed so that more people can feel confident to speak to the guests as they arrive in the country or into Goa. So that was one thing to mention, because it's nice to see the effort being made. Yeah. Yeah. So it's nice to see the effort being made, but then additionally, yeah. No, but then also additionally, what I was going to say was when we arrived at Gatwick, because of the fact that there was no in-flight entertainment, I completely drained my phone just watching some stuff that I'd downloaded ahead of time because I knew the in-flight entertainment probably wouldn't work. But then, unfortunately, there was nowhere to charge my phone at the seat either. So we were picking up a hire car. So it was completely dead. So I'm like unplugging the vending machine by the carousels at Gatwick Airport to try and charge my phone, just to see if I get some juice so that I could know where to go to get the hire car. Anyway, a very kind person at the Bureau de Change, he let me just use his charging bank. He said, no, I can't plug your charger in, but you can use my charging bank. So, it's like the kindness of people that you find along the way can make all the difference. But obviously, if I hadn't have had to use my phone the whole flight and there'd been some charging facilities, my phone wouldn't have been completely dead when we'd arrived on the other side. So there's all of these things that have a knock-on effect.
It is sad because these airplanes have been around forever. I mean, something as simple as Wi-Fi on the aircraft, you got it on Qatar. USB ports to charge your phone, you got it on the airplane. Entertainment systems. It just makes a huge difference to the whole flight experience. But what you mentioned just now, you reminded me about the guy welcoming. Our lovely Indian hospitality is lost. Goan hospitality at Daboli and MOPA is totally lost, dude. We're such a warm culture where you can have people. You're not talking about leis in Hawaii. You're not talking about flowers and elephants and all, but just a simple smile. Somebody that is not shy to talk to customers, to talk to travelers, direct them the right way, helpful. People not afraid to speak. Guys, give me a job. I'm happy to come there and train for free. But you've got to have the right employee, but the employee's got to have the right training to be able to handle people, customer service, take care. Listen, whatever we can do to help to make your experience better, something that will make you remember this flight into this airport, that, you know what, that guy was so helpful, they were so warm, they were so welcoming, it makes a huge difference. I think more importantly than that, it's the people that run the airport, the people that train these employees, these people that train the people behind the counters, the people that train the people that would direct traffic in the airport, how to interact with people, and just make them feel welcome. It's such a shame because that is something so easy to do that's not being done. That could make a huge difference to the whole experience. I'm gonna get on and start talking about Europe and Italy. We had such a brilliant experience. We landed in Fiumicino, which is no, we didn't land. Did we land there?
No. We went to Florence.
Started in Florence.
No,
We landed in Florence, right?
Yeah, we went. Yeah, just hold 1 second. My mum's just coming back.
I want to show some pictures.
Wait.
In the meantime, I want to go through. We're not going to have time to show all these pictures, but you know what, guys? Goa's got so much to offer. We've got, they've got the churches, we've got the beaches, we've got restaurants, we've got the cuisine, we've got so much, and I don't think it's properly displayed or properly advertised. I went to this place which is world-renowned. People have spoken about it. They've talked about it. You read about it in books. You see it in movies. Let me tell you, it's probably one of the best experiences, Ajoy, I have ever had.
I've put it on for the viewers. So these are the pictures of you landing, in the sense, your first destination in Italy, Florence.
Yeah. So just go through them. I'm not going to sit here and wait. We're just going to go through them very quickly. Just zoom through these pictures. These are some of my personal pictures. Come on, dude. You can go faster than that. This is not. Keep going. These are the lovely little streets in Florence where we went to. Come on, you got 100,000 pictures. By the way, that was in the villa we stayed. There's a picture. There's a globe with Goa in. You can see a lot of the stuff. I want to show. There's a crow. Look at that crow. There's a gray and black crow. In Florence, it's a small little city that's so quaint. It is full of tourists, guys. They've got these beautiful. I don't know what you'd call this, but this is on the street.
Altars, but they're I guess they're like in the building, right?
Yeah, these are on this. This is on the road. These are different things you'd see in a place like Florence. There's something called Italy. I've never seen that before, but this is the family. We were traveling together. Come on, keep going, dude. I want to see these monuments, the culture, the art, the sculptures, the paintings. It just blows your mind. This is only in Florence. This is the famous Duomo. One of the churches that we visited. You've got, if I'm not mistaken, over 900 churches like this in Italy that just blow your mind. You can go there and visit these churches. They're so well maintained. You pay for everything. But at the end of the trip, you're so glad you went there because it's something that is hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And the stuff you see is just mind-numbing, how these guys did what they did in these different churches, the outside, the mosaic, the painting, the sculpting. Such a quaint little place. And when you actually go there, it's hard to take it in because there's so much to see. And it is I don't know the word. It's just overwhelming. We walked through the city streets of Florence. We had affogato, which is their famous coffee. There it is. That's my niece Priyanka with affogato. Zoom in on that. Can you zoom in on that? Will I let you zoom in on? This is coffee with gelato. Zoom in on the. There it is, dude. I want to go back. I can't wait to I want to start this in Goa, dude. Affogato is coffee with gelato. They do it so well. And we were at a place where we went back 4 days in a row and had it. It is just amazing. But it so caters to tourists. Obviously, you don't have to have that here in Goa, but we've got a lot more to offer in this place. It's sad because it's not perfect. It's clean. You've got well taken care of spaces. Check that out. That's a do not enter sign.
No. This is something about spilling of wine.
Yeah, do not enter sign, dude. Somebody's modified that sign.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go on. I don't want to get into. This is just stones on the street. This is just. I want to get into the other parts of Italy. This is only Florence. I want to get into Rome. I want to get into Venice. The
Mervin, you haven't told them about all your exercise.
What exercise?
What about all your exercise in the bell tower? In the bell tower.
Yeah, so that's in Florence.
At the Duomo.
The bell tower next to the Duomo.
You want to pull that up?
No, I'm not going to pull it up. The point I'm trying to make is I've taken
was
loads
good
of pictures, and these are
exercise,
personal pictures, so I don't really need to show them all. The point I'm trying to make is we've got a world-famous destination here. And like all of these places in Italy that cater to tourists, you've got lines, you've got entry fees, you've got tickets that need to be bought, you've got vendors selling food, you've got taxis that don't rip you off. It's such a brilliant experience to come away from. By the way, we were talking about amenities at the airports. You have to pay €1 everywhere you go to use the toilets. Not a bad thing, but the toilets are spotless. They don't stink up a storm. You've got soap. You've got everything you need in a toilet. I'm happy to pay the pound. Why can't we implement that here? In our airport, our airport, by the way, in MOPA was very clean. I went and washed my hands. It's spotless, but a lot of the other toilets and a lot of the other places that you go to are not as clean. But simple things that cater to tourists, that keep tourists happy, that keep tourists coming back. We're losing the goose that laid the golden egg here in Goa, by the way. We also went.
Mervin, I was going to ask you something.
Ajoy.
I was going to mention to you. Remember we had that kind of unusual experience where in most places that you go, if you're trying to use like one of these Uber style taxis or whatever, they're normally cheaper. But remember when we were going to the airport, when we were leaving Rome, this guy told us, the driver, he said, I'm an employee. This is a government run taxi firm. And literally I get paid a salary. It doesn't matter to me if your fare is €40 or, €4. I get paid the same amount of money because we paid less by using the taxi on the street than we would have paid with the Uber, because we had that experience when we went to the Colosseum, if you remember.
That's the thing, Joey.
So it's quite interesting. It's an interesting business model, no?
It is, but that's something that leaves a really, really good taste in your mouth. When you go to a place where all the amenities, you're not there to ride in the taxis, you're not there to eat the food specifically. You're there to see the monuments, the artwork, the things that have made you come to this place. And Rome, Venice, Florence, and I haven't been to a lot of other cities there, but they do it in spades. Why can't we do what we do here in Goa a little bit differently? You've got the people that love this place that want to come back here. Why reinvent the wheel? I'm talking about at MOPA Airport, why don't you have the right people in place that can make that experience different? But as a state, why can't we have the right people that run the state, that handle the tourist industry, the hotel industry, the taxi industry, the beaches, just like all these other places that cater to tourists? Why can't they do it any better?
I think we need a member from the TTAG to come on our show and answer these questions. I think they would be best well placed to answer these questions because they are a body that interacts with the government of Goa on such, or should be interacting with the government of Goa with such issues. So we would definitely work on getting somebody from the TTAG to come on our show and explain the hurdles that are faced here and what we can do to overcome it.
We're very passionate. We really, really love this place. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Merv Britto Show. We would love to hear from you. We would love you guys to get in touch with us. You can contact us. You can message us. You can call us. The number is 7507-246-246. Send us a message. Give us a call. Just like Joanne's doing from the UK right now, you can video chat with us. We're going to start doing these more frequently. It's not only about having the guests, but it's also about having people that are listening and want to air an opinion, that want to make a viewpoint heard, that want to get in touch with us and share something, good or bad. It's not always about the bad. We'd love to hear that the small things, the big things, whatever people are doing good also. It has to be balanced. It has to be, you have to also pat the people on the back that are doing well. Get in touch with us. You got our social media handles, our online profiles, but we're going to get back more to talking about what we're talking about right now. It is such a shame that you can go overseas to places in Europe and have such a great time. The whole experiences keep you coming back, but more importantly, you talk about it and you spread the word, right? People talk about it to other people and promote these places. Why are we losing that here?
That's a big question that needs an answer, $1 million question, or questions that need answers. And you know what? I think it comes down, for me personally, I think if you have pride in your country and you love your culture, you would do it naturally. And I think there is a lack of pride. I don't know why that is. There is a lack of pride from where we are from, and consequently, we are not interested in, portraying the best picture to visitors that come to India and even Goa. That's where I come from. It's harsh words, but that's actually what I really feel. What do you think, Merv?
Ajoy, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just see what's working elsewhere. You want to do a great airport, go to Heathrow, go to Doha, go to Dubai, go to my favorite airport in the whole world. Can anybody guess what my favorite airport in the whole world is?
I'll tell you. Wait.
It begins with C.
I know.
You know.
Okay, I think I know.
What is it?
Can I take a stab at it?
Take a stab at it.
Changi Airport, baby.
100 points for you. 100
Yeah.
Thank God. I thought Joanne was going to jump in.
That was voted the number one airport. Doha had stolen the crown from them last year, but then they got their crown back again this year. Because I think so for many successive years, they've been the number one airport in the world. So they've done an amazing job, and all of that sustainability that they do. Mm-hmm. So they've done so much around sustainability in those gardens, those internal gardens, and all of the oxygenated air and all of that kind of stuff.
The free movie, the gardens, the restaurants, the bar. I mean, listen, Changi Airport's my favorite. Singapore, I love it. The point I'm trying to make is, do not reinvent the wheel. You want to do a good airport, see what's being done elsewhere, go to one of these places. You want to see what's being done, or you want to improve your tourist industry, go to a place like Thailand, like Malaysia, like Italy, like European, whatever. Pick a country that's doing it well and replicate. You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple, stupid. I don't know why we don't have people that are just simple common sense would tell you, this place is doing well, why don't we do the same? This airport's really nice, why don't we do the same? This bus service is so perfect, why don't we do the same? These taxi services are great, why can't we replicate that here? These restaurants, the food, as important, we've got historical monuments, by the way, here in Goa. Your St. Francis Xavier. We've got some beautiful temples.
Yeah.
We've got some churches. We've got some sites. We've got some places here that are world class. We've got some of the warmest culture. We've got some of the warmest people that love to invite tourists and people from outside, from different places. But we don't showcase that, and it's sad. You know what I mean?
Merv, can I just add one more thing on the airport issue? See, right now, I think Goa experiences a very high footfall because we are now a tourist destination domestically, more than even internationally. But I just think about the time, maybe 10, 20 years ago, when we had only Dabali. And I compare that when it was a small airport to what I experienced in Siem Reap, for example, when I went to visit Angkor Wat. Again, this is in Cambodia.
What?
Yeah, it was amazing. I'll just put it up.
What's the name of the place?
Siem Reap.
Say what? Angkor what?
Angkor Wat.
You didn't get it, Ajay.
I didn't get it. Okay, so I'm just going to put some pictures here. So just check this out. It is a small airport, but check out the quality of this airport, Merv. I was blown away, mate. I was blown away. The people inside also were really, really, really helpful. It was an experience. It was a small airport, but it looked beautiful.
It is beautiful, Ajoy. It's not rocket science, right? So this is another beautiful airport. We've got culture, we've got class, we've got everything here in Goa in spades. It just needs to be brought to the forefront and displayed and put on show and put on display by the right people with the right people. Can I say that again? Should I give myself a round of applause?
Please do that. Give it a shot of rock as well.
Shot of Urag, give him a shot of Faney. It just needs to be done well. You know what? We've got everything that we need here. It just needs the right people, by the right people, just to make sure that people listen. I don't know how to stress this enough. We've spoken about this with almost every guest that we've had here about Goa. What made this place so spectacular, other than the lovely people, the brilliant food, the amazing beaches, and the sites to visit? We've lost, or we're losing that goose that laid the golden egg. You know what I mean? The people that did love this place or do love this place, that wanted to come here year after year, are not coming back anymore. And you're catering to a totally different type of tourist that's not spending as much, or I don't know. It's just not the same.
Spending differently.
They're spending all
They're
right.
spending differently.
But they're not appreciating, and you have the drunken driving, the killing rates. Our roads are becoming so hazardous at night nowadays, because we have a lot of drunkards on the road, killing innocent bystanders. That's
major. That's very important. But that's like an internal issue. Now, that's not about the tourists.
No, it is very much about the tourists, because the tourists are the ones. I'm sorry to say, but from what I've read on the papers, a lot of these accidents happen at night when they're returning from these parties. And
I see what you're saying. I got you.
And you know why they're drinking so heavily? Because they know they will not be checked by the police on the roads at night.
Cheap alcohol and no stops, checks and balances, dude.
Now that will affect your tourism, right? Because people are if I have a family, would not want to come and go out at night here in Goa. And thereby it's going to impact the night economy in Goa, right? So these small things all add up to a much bigger picture.
But there's got to be a balance, you know what I mean? I'm saying at the end of the day, you've got to have somebody with a view and a vision. If you're going to make something great, and I hate to sounding like Donald Trump, make America great, make Goa great again. Moga. Make Goa great again. You know what? If you want to make
that's awesome.
That's nice, yeah?
That's really good.
Flipping hell, I'm going to give myself another round of applause. For fuck's sake. If you can make Goa great again, the thing about it is, dude, we've got everything that we need here in spades. I'm going to say this again. Don't reinvent the wheel. You need the right people to hire the right people, to train the right people, to make this place what it used to be back in the day, that drew so many people from around the world who wanted to come back year after year. And we've lost it with your infrastructure, your taxis, your public transportation, your rules, your regulations. All these things have gone out the window. You're catering to the wrong people, and the people that actually you want to be inviting are not coming here anymore. Your visa issues, I don't want to get it. I'm going to sound like a Debbie Downer.
Yeah,
I'm going
we'll
to
be
stop.
here the whole day. I'll tell you what. But we have to start
Can I
somewhere.
jump in?
Please. Why do you keep taking Joanne
Yeah.
off the picture, Ajoy? What's your story, dude?
It's called TV.
I don't know
production.
whether I'm on air, off air, can be heard, can't be heard.
We can hear
I
you.
don't
Yeah,
know.
lovely.
You're censoring me like a husband. You're censoring me like a husband, Ajoy. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Blame it all on me, guys. Blame it all on me. Okay. Go for it.
No. There's a couple of things I just wanted to mention. Basically, when you think about something like the airports, when you're talking about the airports, there are these teams of people that they're actually dedicated to year-round, actually wanting to win, get the accolade to win the best airport, win the best this, win the best that. So obviously from some of these airports, they are like streets and streets ahead of everybody else. And so it's always going to be between maybe about 5 airports around the world. So, that kind of thing. Winning the best airport is not something that Goa needs to be looking at in that sense, but obviously taking the tips and tricks and learning from them and implementing them to give that better first experience when people arrive, that can make a huge difference. Plus, additionally, I wanted to also mention one of the topics we'd spoken about, like the kind of Airbnb communities, that hollowing out communities locally. This is something we also had discussed with our tour guide in Venice, because she was talking to us about the fact that so many of the Venetians who had places, who had villas or apartments, now all of those apartments have largely been converted into Airbnb. So nobody can afford to live on the island of Venice anymore. So they've all had to move on to the mainland. And like Mervyn and I were saying, that's one of the topics that we spoke about with Angela, and we didn't get into it to a huge degree, but I think everybody got the point that it's a real problem around the world, and it's something that you don't want to go too far down that road, so that you've got like ghost communities, so that you're kind of living in an area where you can't afford for people to live locally. And that made me really sad, that somewhere like Venice, obviously we know that it's got its problems because it's sinking. So you have to pay a tourist fee to even be on the island of Venice itself. We went to St. Mark's Square, and I wasn't expecting so much because of the fact that so many people said, it costs so much to even sit and have a cup of coffee or a glass of water or a Coke. So I didn't expect it to be as spectacular and breathtaking as it was. Now, Jeff Bezos from Amazon had planned his wedding to be there. Then he had to hurriedly change it, because in St. Mark's Square they'd had some big banner, pay your taxes, you're not welcome here kind of thing, or protesting about Amazon. And my mum's just showed me Amazon Queen, a photo of the Jeff Bezos wedding and all. So there's a lot of this interconnectedness that I think we want to make sure that our listeners and viewers also understand, that some of the topics that we're talking about here on the Merv Britto Show, we're talking about them. Some people might not feel that it's anything to do with them, but there's just so much that links to other communities around the world. And it's just like, learn from the bad examples to try not to kind of go too far down that road, so that you're kind of, killing off your own economy.
We've got a picture of the one of the banners that we saw. If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax. I'm not going to get into this, dude. Jeff Bezos got married there a couple of days after we left. Listen, I don't care about what anybody says. We've got a lot that we can offer here in Goa. Airbnb issues aside, property issues aside, as a tourist destination, we can compete with the best of them. And we've let it go, and we keep making stupid excuses, and we've got people in place that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And the whole idea with doing the show, by the way, the whole idea with the Merv Britto Show is to bring these kind of issues to the forefront. If you're ever going to make a change, you got to be the change you want to see. We've sat and talked about these issues with multiple guests. We've talked about these issues off the air, just amongst ourselves, and nothing ever happens. Nothing changes, and that's what's scary about it. So this is the kind of platform, ladies and gentlemen, that we want to promote, where we want to create a place people can interact, people can talk about this. We want to make changes, be the change you want to see. But we want people's opinions. We want you to interact with us. Leave us a message, comment below, get in touch with us. This is the Merv Britto Show. Check out our website, themervbrittoshow.com. We want to hear from you. We want you to get in touch with us on WhatsApp, on Instagram. You can leave us a comment, Facebook, X. It's on the screen right now, I think, right?
That's right. It's on the screen.
Get in touch with us. We're going to do another show because we want to start calling people. There's a couple of people that have asked to get on, but they don't want to be seen. They want to be heard. We're going to start calling people next Sunday. We're not going to do any guests for now, are we?
It depends.
I want to do a musical guest. I want to do a guest that has
Absolutely.
music. There's one of my favorite guys called Mac Dorad, who's a one-man show. I'm going to speak to Mac. I want him to talk about nightlife in a simpler way back in the day where people loved to go out and listen to good music. They'd go anywhere to have good music, live music. We've got so many great artists here in Goa. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oodles of talent.
We're going to start calling people. We're going to start
Can I
taking
just-
different... Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, talking about art and artists, did your picture or your photograph of Sanjao, St. John the Baptist from the Vatican, did that make it to your
No.
live picture share?
My
Because
editor-
you'd sent a message on Sanjao. I don't know whether that went out. Because you were
To my
basically
editor,
saying Happy
Mr. Moreno.
Sanjao, and there was the painting of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. It is like a hugely famous painting. We were in the Vatican on his anniversary feast
Not
day.
even close.
So that's why I
haven't
thought
seen
you were
one
going to
of
speak
my
about
pictures.
it.
Scroll all the way down, dude. We went to the Vatican. We went to the gardens. We went to see the world famous Sistine Chapel. You haven't
Sistine
seen
Chapel.
Picture one. Guys, we need help on this show. If you're out there looking for a job, if you know how to do editing, if you know how to do graphics, if you want to get involved in the show, you want to help out, you want to earn a living, we pay very, very well. We would love to have some people, some qualified, some very talented people join us to help us promote the show, to help us polish the apple, so to speak. If you're involved, get in touch with us. We're desperately looking for full-time help, and it pays very well. Get in touch with us. Message me, 750-724-6246. We would love to hear from you. We're looking for good, qualified people that need a job here in Goa, preferably. But I'm going to take this to the end. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for taking the time to chat to us. What is it? You're 4.5 hours behind?
Very well, my pleasure. Yes, I am. Yeah.
We're
So
gonna do this-
yeah, it was just nice to take some time out
It is. And I'm glad to be back. We're going to do
to
next
catch up
Sunday
with you. That's what I'm saying. Take time out to catch up.
As always, we love to hear from you. Go on, leave us a like, leave us a comment. We need to actually, you know what? We need to push traffic to the Facebook page, the Merv Britto Show Facebook page. Do me a favor, go on there, leave us a like, share and subscribe. That is the Merv Britto Show on Facebook. We're going to start broadcasting live on that show. We're going to start calling some people that do want to get involved. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about this place and topics that are very near and dear to us, because otherwise nothing's going to change. We're going to keep doing the same thing 5 years from now, and we're going to lose something that is very, very important to many of us all around the world. If you've got an opinion, if you've got a voice, if you want to get heard, get in touch with us. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I've thanked Joanne, Ajoy, Willie. Thank you once again for another lovely Sunday show. You can listen to us. We're going to edit this. We'll post it on the website, themervbrittoshow.com. Any parting words, any words of advice, Ajoy?
We would love to hear from you guys. We've built this show for y'all, so do connect with us. Send us ideas of who you want on the show, and we will be more than happy to get them on the show so that we could interact here and cause some positive change in the future.
Willie, I want to go back to the old mic, dude. I want him to sound like R2D2 before he goes.
Yeah, exactly.
thank you.
Let me see it.
Wilbert Cardozo. Sang mare. Sang poya. Ulang mare. Kide sango viva sanjo porat.
No,
What do
There's
you want to
apparently
say?
a
like
big.
I just said.
1 second before you speak. There's a big party in Seoni right now. Sanjua party.
His church,
In
right?
the church, yeah.
Give a shout out. What's your church, dude? Give a shout out to your church.
Our Lady of the Constellation of the Persecuted, Church Tropa.
What did you just say? God Almighty! I went to St. Mary's. Say that again in English. Sang mare.
Our Lady of the Constellation of the Persecuted, Church Tropa.
Tropa.
Yeah.
So they're
Tropa
having the
Church.
party with San
Whoa.
Joe today, yes?
Yes. I think it's almost over.
You're gonna miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
You're
Thank you for
missing
watching.
another party.
Which one?
I said poor Wilbert, he's missing yet another party. He missed it on the day of the feast, and he's also missing the delayed feast day celebration.
I have a feeling
Also,
this is all part of the plan.
I wanted probably. But no, I was just going to say, Ajoy, your point is very good about getting in touch to tell us which guests they'd like to hear from and have on the show. I think, but then additionally, what additional topics or causes that people want us to highlight or speak about. Just remember, I think there's one more day to actually contribute to that questionnaire. Remember that Joanna was talking about. So up to the 30th, there's still.
Go and mention that,
yes.
Joanna. I forgot
so
about that.
there's still a little bit. Yeah, so there's just one more day to actually fill in the questionnaire. So, guys, I would suggest just promoting that website link once again, because up until the 30th, people can contribute and give their opinions and feedback for 20. Yeah, go Vixit for 2047. The green Vixit as well. So yeah, that would be great. And then also, if anybody's got any friends, contacts in high places, in low places, in medium places that have got, the ear of somebody that, we could also speak to kind of help promote and help push some causes forward. Because like you say, what we're really trying to do is make some positive change, help and assist wherever we can, essentially, because we love Goa and we want it to keep thriving.
The website. Give me. Name the website. So you can push this, dude. You can promote this. This is actforgoa.org.
I'm trying to bring it up.
Goa Vixit, and if you don't fix it, you're gonna be in pig shit. Give me the goddamn website. We gotta go, guys. It's been over an hour.
Here it is, Merv.
There it is. Thank you. Act for Goa, enabling people to care for Goa. Guys, talk is cheap. You really want to do something? Take 5 minutes. Go on. actforgoa.org, actforgoa.org. Take a minute, fill in the thing, the form. Do something, guys. You can do that from anywhere in the world. Put your money where your mouth is. There's Joanna.
That's you.
Is that me?
That's you as well.
So do something. Do really something if you care about this place.
In their page, you just have to go to their homepage, click on this green Vixit Goa button right at the top. It takes you to the page that we are talking about, and in here you'll find a link to the form where you can give your inputs for a better Goa, which I'm showing here. Just go through this. It'll go through you. It'll show you the steps you need to do, and please lend your voice for a better Goa, a greener Goa.
If you genuinely care about this place we call home, 5 minutes is not a whole lot of time. Just take the time and get it done. It makes a huge difference. Stop complaining. Let's try and get something done together. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Merv Britto Show. We thank you for watching. As always, we'll be on the air next Sunday, 6 p.m. local time. We would love to hear from you. Leave us a message. Leave us a comment. Go into the Facebook page, The Merv Britto Show. Leave us a like. I would appreciate that. A like, a share, and a subscribe. And until next week, take care of yourselves and take care of one another. Yes? See you.